Everyone, I had a random idea for a video today, so we're in my sewing room. Check it out, but don't check it out because it's kind of messy. But I wanted to show you all my process of batch cutting and sewing. I've been seeing a few questions in sewing groups here and there. If you're unaware of what batch sewing and cutting is, it's just, once you have a good number of items to make, it really helps to speed the process up. So I'm going to show you. I'm already in the middle of it, so I kind of wish I would have started this video before, but oh, excuse me, that's my Chipotle coming out. Anyways, I'm in the middle of it, but I'll try to explain it as best as I can to what my process is. Of course, you can tweak it to whatever your needs are, but for me, this is what's been working. So let's get right to it. And also, it's going to be on a bed, but don't worry, no one sleeps on it. This is just my sewing room, and we have nowhere else to bed. But anyways, so here is everything. It looks a little crazy, but I have all my bell sleeve tops that I'm working on, and I have sizes from 9 months all the way to 10. So the first thing that I do is I lay out all the pattern pieces by size, and I go, smallest to biggest. And then what I like to do is pretend the white isn't there. I did all the blacks first, the black fabric ones. So pretend the white isn't there, but all I do is I go by size and I cut all the bodices out first. So I go, all right, I need 3 of these. I cut 3 of those. And then I go over to this size and I'm like, okay, I need 2 of those or 3 of those or whatever. I always need like 10 of size 2T. But okay, so then I cut those and then I go down the line. And then the next piece that I cut, this is just arbitrary, but the next piece that I cut is all the neck bands. So again, I'll be like, okay, I needed 3 of those, needed 10 of those, needed blah, blah, blah of those. And I'll go down the line. And then I'll grab all my sleeve pieces and do it again. And you probably already can guess, but then we do all the bell sleeves. Now, the reason that I do this is because I have found that doing the same shape over and over reduces fabric waste. And I also like to cut folding my fabric like on top of one another and cutting out multiples of the same size. So I love when I have even numbers. That way I can get, like 4 tops usually from one cut, if that makes sense. So I'm out of breath. I'm apparently not used to speaking. What the heck? Anyways, so I did all of my black topped. And then once I get to sewing, I just grab the stack. Again, pretend the white isn't there. I just grab the stack and I sew it up. And usually I do about the same process. I'll, sew all the bodices first, sew all the sleeves, attach all the bell sleeves, then attach the sleeve to the bodice, then attach the neckband. And then I'll bam, put it back, and then go to my next pile, and my next pile, my next pile, my next pile, da-da-da-da. And then once I'm done with all of that, I stop and I go over to my white. Now you could just cut all day if you wanted to, but it gets kind of boring for me, so I did all my black yesterday, and today I'm working on all my white. I actually had some other colors ordered too, so I'll probably throw those in here too. But an annoying thing is I ran out of black fabric, so for some reason the black top was like really popular, but I ran out of black fabric. So anyways, now I'm in the middle of working through my whites. I'm working on the bands currently, and then I have to print out some other sizes. So some are missing, but in general, here's everything. And I forgot to mention, I write everything down in a Google Drive like sheet. It's just like an Excel sheet. That's what it looks like. So I just write it all down, and then I highlight everything that's the same style, so I know. That's how I know, like, okay, I need, like 5 of this size or whatever. So it's just really easy to reference back to it. Show it completely, but it's right there. You see, you see all those little highlighted things? That's, I don't know why that just like made me satisfied. I'm so weird, sorry. Okay, so anyways, station. So like I said, I'm currently working on the white. This is the dangerous tool that I use. What is this called? This is my rotary cutter. Sorry, I'm blanking, and I just have this cutting mat here, and this is my table. And then once I'm done cutting, I'll actually bring over one of my machines, whichever one I need. Like I mentioned earlier, it's really messy in here, but I'll just bring over my machine and start sewing it. But like I said, you can cut everything out first and then sew, or do what I do and cut all one color and then move on to the next. It works doing it by colors because then you don't have to switch your thread as much. For example, these black tops, I had mostly all black thread and then one of the spools ran out, so it's not very cool, but it still works. So yeah, I do all my black thread first, and then I'm gonna run and do all the white, next, and then when I go over to hem, I'm going to do, again, all the black threaded ones first, and then the whites. So hopefully that all makes sense. I don't know if there's anything else that I wanted to add. Let me think. Oh yeah, one of the last things is I just keep everything in the same pile. As far as size goes, like once I move over to my next style, like this drop, I had like 10 styles. I don't know why I did that to myself. I always prefer to have like 3 tops. But once I move on to the next style, I'll just again lay out all of my paper pattern pieces with the corresponding size, and again go through the line and do everything at every piece at a time by the sizes. So hopefully that makes sense. That just helps me. And then once it's time to package, I could just go through the order and be like, okay, this person ordered like all size 2T, so then I just have to go to my 2T size pile and pull it all out. So it helps that way. I've seen a lot of people do like baggies for every order and then they just sew as they go, but I feel like that slows me down because for me, I get in the zone and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm making bell sleeve tops, and it just like becomes muscle memory. You're like bam bodice, bam sleeve, bam bell, bam neckband. You know what I mean? I'm not a rapper, but I wish. I also bought this here that I want to do. I actually want to start transferring over everything that's done and put it like in here, but I just need to label it per size. So it's going to be eventually, instead of, just having those piles, I'm going to be putting everything in one size here. So again, like once I go and I'm done with an order, I can just pull it all out. So hopefully these are big enough. But yeah, that's just my process. And let me see, is there anything else that I forgot to mention? I think that's it. So I think I'm gonna do another video later today. Someone wanted to know how to sew on pockets, so I'm gonna try that. I honestly, this sounds weird, like I know how to do things, but something like pockets I've never done, even though I theoretically know how to do it. So I'm just gonna wing it, and then you'll see the video if it came out good. If it didn't come out good, then I just didn't know what I was doing. All right, sorry if it looks like I'm looking at myself, like my lens is right here, but it's kind of weird. Okay, anyways, that is it, everybody. Happy sewing, and hang in there. 2020 is almost over. Peace out.